And we're back.
And we're back. No, this is what I'm saying. You keep trying to do like a hard intro.
No, I know.
It's better if you just ease in.
Okay.
Just ease in.
But I don't know how. Like, we can start easing in from my hard intro and just cut my hard intro out.
But why? What's the point of the hard intro then?
Don't know what else to say, Gabe.
How's the weather? Hmm?
Oh, is that what you want to talk about? Is that what this podcast is about? I feel like that's the antithesis of this podcast.
How was the game last night?
Did you catch the game last night?
I don't know, man. We can talk about anything. You heard about what's going on in Egypt last night?
What was going on in Egypt, Gabe?
I don't know. I asked you.
Oh, yeah. You're asking because you want to know. Not because anybody's been talking about it, just because you're curious.
Oh, yeah. I'm just curious about Egypt. No reason.
Dude, there's probably like a lot of stuff going on globally. I don't know anything about it.
You know, if I had to put my money on it, I'd say there are a lot of things going on in the world.
Lot worth talking about, maybe. Maybe not worth talking about. Who knows? What is worth talking about? Let's get into it.
You know what is worth talking about? Advertisements.
They're everywhere.
They're everywhere in the Western world.
That's right.
They drive the economy.
Well, I don't know if that's true. They drive the economy.
Hold on.
What do you mean by that? Look, if something were to drive the economy, I would think that means that something would be the one thing that keeps the economy going. Now, what is the economy? I don't know. I did take 2 classes on it. I don't really know. I could not get you a definition on that. And honestly, I think economists wouldn't really know, because the economics is a bunch of just like really vague definitions, really vague. And that's like the point of it. I remember that was a multiple choice question once. It's like, what is economics? And then what is true about economics? And the multiple choice answer was, it deals in concepts, which is like, yeah, I guess so. So if something were to drive the economy, I would say it would be demand, right? People wanting things. And then
that's why I say drive the economy, because according to Statista.com,
oh, here we go.
Worldwide marketing spending is forecasted to reach $1.17 trillion in 2025.
Now, that makes sense, but that doesn't drive the economy. That's just something that people are doing. People are spending money. Maybe they shouldn't.
Demand, Sean. That's a high demand.
Okay, yeah, okay. So it drives the economy of the ad market. I guess so. That's a good point.
But like, what other? Actually, I'm not entirely sure. But what other economies? It can't be that many. What other like sectors have that? They're like people are spending that much money.
Dude, like all of them. What are you talking about?
1.17 trillion US dollars?
What about energy?
Okay, but like that's what I'm saying. Maybe there's a handful, but like that's one of the big ones.
Okay. Now I really want to find it. I don't want this to be just a podcast of us like Google wizarding back at each other, just casting Googles back at each other.
Casting Googles.
But like I definitely think that there's more sectors spending more money than maybe not. I don't know. Who cares? Let's say it drives the economy. That's crazy. You were just trying to like intro ads and we already got into it.
I don't know, man.
Okay. So
you don't think ads are that big? I think ads are crazy big. Not every country, every like company has that many. Actually, no, I'm just wrong.
Cool. That's fine.
I started out saying something and I was like, man, I'm an idiot.
Yeah, well, that was going to be a false sentence, so let's just call it early. Okay, like the biggest companies in the world are like Amazon and Alphabet and Microsoft, right? When was the last time you saw a Microsoft
Wait,
ad?
The guys that make the soup? Sorry, I had to.
No, that was a really good game. The people are laughing. Anyways, moving on.
The people are laughing.
When was the last time you saw a Microsoft ad?
I don't know, probably like a month or 2 ago.
Oh, okay, never mind. And does Amazon advertise? Absolutely. Wait, do they? Don't they just like?
Well, the last ad for something Microsoft. Actually, that's a good point because they own more than I think. I was gonna say it was like an ad for one of their laptops, but it might have been for Xbox because they also have that.
Oh, true. And Amazon absolutely advertises. Like I just see Amazon ads,
Oh
like
yeah,
Prime and stuff.
everywhere.
Yeah, okay. So ads are big, and honestly, I think there's a lot of benefits to advertising in society because you couldn't have sports without advertisers, and we love sports. So there's
Well, what
that.
if we just had sports where you like paid paid for them? Why can't we pay for them?
We could do that, but then like nobody gets to see an F1 race, right?
Oh, that's a good point. Well,
Like
not necessarily. Well, no,
Jeff
it didn't
Bezos
start out
alone
as
would be able to watch one F1 race.
that's actually not true because Formula One didn't start out as a like sponsored sport. Maybe
Really?
it wouldn't be as prolific if there wasn't sponsor money in it. But
Okay.
it started out as just a bunch of rich guys who wanted to have fun. So
That's nuts, actually. Well, yeah, but the way it is today, like the car, like if imagine they stopped advertising or they stopped taking advertisers today, the sport would not be the same because they're able to fund these insane like science experiments, which are what like F1 cars are, because of all the money that gets put into them, right?
oh yeah, it wouldn't be the same, even if it still lived on, which I think it might. There
It
are a
probably
lot of
would.
people that care very deeply, but I don't know if it'd be the same.
Yeah. I honestly think that they do it in a way that's very appealing in that there's so many ads all over it that they all kind of just blend together and it looks like a uniform. Like, the car
Yeah,
doesn't even look like an ad anymore because it's just so covered in ads. So it's
there's
kind
so
of
many ads. There's so
yeah,
many ads. There are no ads.
exactly. It becomes unintrusive. And if they did that with like MLB teams, it would be, uglier than it is now, but it would also be cheaper and then, pass the savings on to the consumer, which is me.
It's kind of taxing on the head though to be constantly bombarded with advertisements.
Yeah, I was thinking about that too. It's like it's not cheaper. We're just paying in a different way. We're paying with our like brain
Yeah.
power.
It feels, I don't know if other people follow in this feeling, but being constantly bombarded by ads makes me feel less human.
Less human. Okay, we're gonna get into another like really deep conversation, but what do you mean? What does it mean to be human?
No, I just mean it makes me feel like an animal, be
Oh,
like just at the food trough, just chewing, just not thinking at all, no thoughts going through this head,
right. It kind of like
just
strips
an
away
animal.
your free will and individuality.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they start like thinking for you. It's like offensive thinking.
Yeah, they try to manipulate you.
That's what it is, manipulation.
Yeah,
That's what
and
bothers
it's
me about
like,
ads. Like they're trying to make me think something that is not necessarily true.
and on one hand, I feel like most ads are unsuccessful in that, but on the other hand, it's like you really think like so many, like all these people who are paying for these ads really think they can manipulate me, and that hurts. That's
It's
kind of crazy.
insulting.
It really is insulting. It's like you think I am so naive that all you need is 30 seconds to brainwash me. Like, really?
I think, well, they can. Like a lot of people. Okay, and we think that we can't be brainwashed, but we can be, right? Like it's still working.
Oh, sometime. Well, okay.
Sometimes.
I honestly think the majority of ads don't work on me. If it's something that I kind of already do want, then yes. But like, I'm not gonna start crocheting because there's a sale on crochet needles. You know what I mean?
Right. Yes. Some people
Like
will.
that only works to an extent. And I do see the question coming, like, did you really want that, or did the ad convince you you wanted that?
Exactly.
And I still think for the most part I did want it. Maybe there are a couple examples where I like didn't even think about that thing,
Yeah.
and then it's like, okay, yeah, it could be useful, but I don't think that happens very often.
So like you're insult, but the ads that you see, like the most of the ads that you see, I guess, are not targeted at you, right? They're targeted at other people. Do you think that?
Um, I'd say there's a healthy amount targeted at me.
And they don't work?
Yeah. Like I see like for example, like video game ads, I see like car ads, I see there are plenty of like products which people in my demographic would purchase that I
Yeah.
don't want to purchase.
Okay, so you don't want to purchase this product, then you see the ad, and then what do you feel? Do you feel like you don't want to purchase it more, or do you feel I still don't want to purchase it the same amount, and I'm insulted that you think that I would?
Sometimes A, sometimes B.
Oh, okay.
It
Yeah,
depends on how offensive the ad is.
yeah. Okay, I have an idea of what an offensive ad is. What's your idea of an offensive ad?
One that insult your intelligence. Like, do you remember that Google Gemini ad I showed you?
Hold on. Actually, I realize what this is going to turn into. We're both going to bring up examples of ads, which is like the most powerful version of advertising. Oh
That's a good
yeah,
point.
I do remember you brought up that ad. Let's not say what it is because they don't deserve our free promo.
Right, that ad. We'll bleep that out. We'll
Okay,
deal with
here's
that
the
in
thing.
post.
Because now we're like censoring what we talk about in the effort to not advertise for them, but they are in some way still informing how we talk. And so like it's kind of this is what bothers me so much. It's like the basilisk. Like once you know about it, you're unable to you can't like it just changes your whole life against your will. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. But I mean, I think there's a difference between like if we're speaking in a meta way about what they did, they're not controlling us, right?
True. And they would only be controlling us if we censor what we say. So we should just call the ads what they are.
I mean, I don't really care either way, to be honest. I don't
Okay.
think it makes a big deal.
Let's just avoid mentioning the specific companies, but I do remember the example you were talking about. And what about that ad insulted you?
It portrayed people, which I assume were well, users of their service. It portrayed users of their service, which is what they're trying to get me to be. They
Yes.
portrayed them as, well, there's no nice way of putting this, idiots.
Right.
Um,
People incapable of
blatantly,
critical thought.
blatantly just presented them as stupid, and it's
Yes.
like y- it really is insulting if you're literally calling your own customers stupid and then trying to get me to become a customer. You're just calling me stupid at that point.
Do you
Like
think
that's of course that's insulting.
Do you think there's any person who would see that ad and not be insulted? Because I know what you're talking about. I don't really understand how that would work on anyone.
Oh, for sure. Oh no, I think that would work on some people. It would work on people of a lesser critical intelligence.
Right. People who don't think critically and they see that ad and they go like, "It's just like me. I also don't think critically."
It's like, oh, you're right. I would want to know what the best shade of green is.
That's right. Yeah, I remember. Yeah.
I don't know what the best shade of green is.
When I think of an insulting ad, because I don't really think my mom gets YouTube Premium, and I get to use my mom's YouTube Premium. Thank you, mom. So I don't get YouTube ads. So the only ads I ever see are I don't know where I see them. I guess I don't see a whole lot of ads. Just on sides of buses and stuff outside. Um, Sometimes I'll be watching TV at someone else's house, and an ad will come up on their TV. But one that I remember is from a long time ago. It was when a James Bond movie was coming out, and James Bond is like almost entirely funded by ads. I don't know if that's true, but they get a lot of product placements in those movies. And it was just like a James Bond action scene that they shot for the ad, and then they show like the product at the end. And I watched that whole thing and I go like, okay, how is this supposed to make me want the product more? Like, just tell me what the product is. But you spent all this money. You pretty much made a work of art to like advertise this product. So how much did that spend? An insulting ad to me is something that cost them so much money to convey a very simple message. Because all that money could have been spent anywhere else on something much more productive to, I don't know, benefiting society.
You're inflamed by their irresponsible spending.
Irresponsible spending infuriates me.
Right, okay. No, that makes sense. I do also don't like that.
Yeah.
What do you feel about because there are ads like that where it's like, "Oh, look at this cool guy and he's using our product,"
Yeah.
which I think is a dumb marketing campaign. But there's also ones where it's like, "We did this really cool thing.
Okay, no, we
We're
actually have to
cool.
talk about
Buy our
this.
thing."
I'd
What do you
gladly
feel about that?
advertise Red Bull because I don't care. I don't drink Red Bull. I think it's bad for you. But oh my god, I'm so glad that they get those athletes to do all those sick videos. Like I don't care. Go ahead, Red Bull. Take my attention span because I love to see a guy ride a stunt bike over a moving 18-wheeler over tricks and stuff.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like that's probably one of the best strategies, to be honest.
Yeah, like I'm totally bought in.
Like I'm not a guy that likes to buy things, which is why I like companies that at least propose or create the facade that you buy it once.
Oh, like what product are you thinking
And
of? Or don't tell
and
me, but like
therefore like a good they're presenting themselves as like good people. They're presenting themselves as like white knights, you know.
you're proposing, you're saying a product that advertises itself as something you only buy once? Like, are you talking about
Yes.
how like
They
technology is like planned obsolescence?
kind of, but also just like companies that present themselves in a way that they're the only ones still making quality products. Those kinds.
What? That's so. Don't you think that that's wrong? That these people are. I mean, they might be right, but they
In
could also just be saying that.
in some cases, yeah. And when they get found out, it's like, ooh, that sucks. Like Snap-on, for example. Snap-on is a very expensive tool company.
Yeah.
And it used to be that was because they kind of made this the best stuff and they spent a lot of time and money to like develop their products and they came out with new stuff. Um, but now it's kind of like the rest of the companies have sort of caught up in a little, in maybe not in every single way. And
Yeah.
Snap-on has also released some less than stellar products, and it's like, oh, okay, are you really the best at a price, or are you just the price?
Yeah, for sure.
And that's where it kind of hurts. But um, like for example, I've been looking at multi tools recently. I want to buy a multi tool, and
Okay.
there's one company that stands above the rest. It will remain nameless, but like they're known because they have like a 25-year warranty that they actually honor.
Yeah.
You know, it's that kind of stuff that I really like because then sure, I'll spend you know I'll spend almost twice the amount on a multi-tool if it means in 10 years I'm not going to have to buy a new one,
Yeah, it becomes
you
worth
know?
it. Now,
Yeah,
how do they
and
advertise their
definitely.
products? Do they put commercials out, or how'd you find out about this product? Because as far as advertising goes, like if they have, I'm curious because if they do sell a superior product and they're advertising that in like they're just being truthful and honest about it, then I'm all for it because that's what advertising should be, in my opinion. Like I would want to see ads that are just telling the truth, telling me exactly what I'm getting, and then I know whether or not I want it. But all these things are like, don't you want this thing? It's like, well, I don't know yet. You haven't told me all the information I want. And so, yeah,
Yeah, I think like reviews
yeah,
this just popped in my head, but I think if advertising were done correctly, reviews should be like obsolete almost.
yeah, you're right.
Almost obsolete. Because they should tell me everything I need to know about the product because the people making it should know everything and they should comment on it rationally and honestly. So speak about its strengths and its weaknesses. And like, yes, other people's opinions should exist and there should be some weight to them. But if I get all the information I really like, all the important information from the source, that should be how it is.
Um, I like that would be ideal in a perfect world, but it's very susceptible to corruption. So I would argue the other point that reviews make ads obsolete because like why would I watch an ad when I can just watch the review and it would tell me because
Oh,
we need that third party, we need that unbiased opinion, someone who wouldn't benefit off of the sale of the product to comment on the quality of the product, right?
Oh no, for sure, for sure. I'm saying like in a perfect world. That's
Yeah, okay.
definitely what I'm saying. Yeah, because I don't at this point I don't really trust ads. Even if I see an like literally
Yeah.
when like if I see an ad for a product that I'm already looking at buying, and it's like a different company's version or whatever, I literally immediately go look up a review because I don't trust what the ad has to say.
We really have no incentive to trust an ad. Why would we trust an ad? It's completely unbiased, or it's completely biased.
In fact, we probably have many examples of why not to trust an ad when
Yeah.
either, you've seen an ad and bought something and been disappointed, or false advertising.
Yeah. Okay, hold on. We should look into the regulations behind ads. Like, is it illegal to lie in an ad? Like, remember the Red Bull gives you wings thing, where the guy actually sued them because they didn't literally give him wings?
I actually don't remember that, but that's kind of
Oh,
funny.
yeah. I can't think. I think he won, honestly. And so they changed their slogan to Red Bull gives you wings, but wings has 3 eyes. So like, it's not literally you can't sue them for not giving you wings with 3 eyes. Let me look
That's
this up. Yeah.
I mean, it is tricky though because at some point, yeah, obviously Red Bull doesn't give you wings, but at some point, when is it not obvious?
Yeah, for sure.
And
Yeah, like
how do you legislate that? That's the real tricky part.
within the law, it's all like, what's reasonable, and it's all subjective to the judge, and the judge has the ultimate ruling. Yeah, the guy won because it didn't literally give him wings.
Wow, that's kind of insane.
Benjamin Carruthers. This guy's a absolute stud.
Okay, thanks for letting me know.
Yeah,
I'll write that down.
write that down. Write that down. Guy's a stud. Okay, so all this to say, should we run advertisements on the podcast? Now, my original thought behind this episode, when I think one of us proposed it, was would we take sponsorships? Like, this episode is brought to you by, and then all those podcast ads that they all, dick pills and everything. But then you mentioned that we could just run ads on Spotify or YouTube. Now, do Spotify and YouTube accept videos that don't have ads on them? Like, could we say we don't want ads on our podcast?
Okay, so I actually researched this last night
Thank
because
you.
I I thought it was your choice. I thought it was, and that YouTube was just banking on the fact that everyone would say, "Yeah, let's put ads on it and make money." Um, so as it turns out, there's something called the YouTube Creator Program, and so depending on a couple statistics like watch time, like yearly watch time and subscribers, you can join this YouTuber creator program, and that's when you get control over things like ads, and I
Oh,
assume a bunch of other stuff. So actually, as it turns out, before you get 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours in the last year, uh, you can't join the YouTuber creator program, so you have no control over the ads on your video. YouTube will just run ads. After
okay.
that, you have the choice to opt in or opt out. You can decide how many, where they go, stuff like
Whoa.
that.
Okay. And is that when we would
So
start collecting revenue on our ads, when we decide where they go and how that works?
yeah, so you don't collect revenue until you're in the YouTube creator program.
Got it. Okay. So let's discuss then. I mean, we're nowhere close to that because we haven't posted anything, but should we reach that point, what do we do about advertisement?
Yes, well actually you're wrong. We've posted 4 podcasts.
That's right, actually. This is the 4th podcast we have posted.
uh, I think should we reach that point? I don't want to put ads on the podcast. The only time, and this is I think something we should talk more about. I think, and this is a fine line, but I think it would be helpful to put ads on the podcast if it directly helps the podcast. Um, so if we're like collecting money to get better mics or
Ah, okay.
um, to get better software to produce it, stuff like that.
So you would propose, this is a bit of a business meeting for the listeners. Gabe and I are just having a business meeting right now. That all the revenue collected from the podcast be reinvested into the podcast. Like we would have a podcast fund and all the money would just go into that.
Yes. And I
Okay.
think there is obviously the possibility of a point where, um, I mean, there's always a possibility. So I think we should at least touch on this. There's a possibility of a point where we can put a lot more time into this because of how much money we are making.
Yeah.
Um, do you think that's a point where we should switch to ads so that we can do it more? Do you think that's a good thing?
Well, we would have to decide if is this podcast going to be for profit? Is any of this money just going into our pockets to live, or is it all going back into the podcast?
Well, that's what I'm
Oh,
saying.
you're asking me if I
is
okay, what do I think? Okay. I would think, let's see. This podcast is going to extract from my life about 3 hours a week, right? 1 hour to record, 1 hour to edit, and then let's just give me an extra hour, right? Because I'll probably need 2 hours to edit. Do you agree?
yeah, that's probably a good
About 3 hours,
estimate.
and also some time to research it. Okay, so if I'm losing 3 hours a week doing this podcast, is the non-monetary benefit enough to justify that expense in my life? Let's think about it. What am I getting out of this podcast? I get to talk to my buddy Gabe. I get to produce something and learn a skill. And that's about, I guess I get some community engagement if we start getting community engagement, which would be fulfilling for me. So honestly, no, if it doesn't take any more than 3 hours out of my week, I would be completely comfortable with reinvesting all revenues into the podcast. If, however, it starts to take more of my time, I would need to justify that temporal expense with some sort of monetary benefit. So I would like to collect some money, but then how much would we take? How much would we...
But then how much?
Now,
That is
if this becomes a financial, like a cash generation machine, if this podcast is a machine that turns words into money, then that money could be used to, like, I don't know, donate to charity or something, right? Like, what if we use
it
this
could.
to, like, I don't know, promote something, like, I don't know, building a hospital or something like that?
That's actually a
That
good
an idea?
point.
Yeah.
That's actually a good point. And that's where yeah, actually I don't know what to say to that. It has always been a dream of mine, a small dream at that, but a dream to
Dream nonetheless.
I don't want to build a business. I know some people are like super entrepreneurial and that's like their live stream is like, I don't care what it is, I just want to make a business and
Yeah.
make money. And it's like that's not really what I'm called to. But I
Yeah.
do like the idea of building a business and building something of value, right? And then like scrapping it and putting it all into like a foundation, like selling it, for example, and putting it all into a foundation.
Yeah, definitely. I would
Like
like to
that idea
also
sounds great.
operate one of those because I feel like I've donated to charity and I don't really know if it's working. So I would like to get in and see like the
Yeah.
nuts and bolts of how a charity actually works. And I would like to be on the other side, like receive donations and then somehow try to allocate those to causes that make sense. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's a
I
dream.
would apart from that last part, which I think would drive me insane, I would love that.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
The weight of that responsibility on my shoulders would crush me. There's no doubt.
You think really? Okay, I could handle
For
it.
me, yeah. I would lie awake at night thinking, "Oh no, did I spend the money on the right thing?"
I should have done more. Yeah, I see what you're saying.
But yeah, I think there's a legal term for the type of company, but the type of company where you don't really make you don't make any profit, or if you do, it's very minimal, and the rest is reinvested or goes to charity.
Yeah, businesses can be categorized into two things. They're either for profit or non-profit, and a non-profit business only means that all revenues generated are reinvested into the business, but that can also mean that like CEOs pay themselves as much as they want, right? So like
Oh,
because you have to pay for people. I mean, you can have a business without any employees, but if you have a business with employees, you can pay them wages, and then those wages can be considered, you know, leakages as far as, you know, that money could be reinvested into the business, into more business. I mean, wages are business expense, but you know what I'm saying?
but okay, but if reinvesting in if giving that money to the CEO counts as reinvesting in the business. Why does it not count as reinvesting in the business if you're giving it to the people who are the business?
No, it's the same either way, is what I'm saying. Both are considered
Oh,
salaries.
okay.
Yeah.
And that's somehow considered not for profit?
Yes, I think.
That's crazy.
It is crazy. It doesn't make any sense. Or no, I think
That's
it's
like the
I don't know.
definition of profit.
But yeah, so as long as we would just have to decide what we decide our pay rate to be, and then that would be considered a business expense and not profit.
Yeah.
It's the accounting wise, it's different, but like vibes wise, it's the same.
Yeah, so I
Uh,
think in order for us to do that, do you think it's possible to run no ads until the point where that is possible and then turn ads on? Because part of me feels like people would stop watching.
Absolutely, I think so. I think that having no ads would be actually a big selling point. No, honestly, I think sometimes YouTube will like ban stuff because it's unsuitable for advertisers, or they'll demonetize it, right? And honestly, our podcast should be unsuitable for advertisers because advertisers are unsuitable to me. I don't want to have a McDonald's ad on my product because I don't agree with McDonald's worldview. So I think the only way that we would ever make money off of this would be by taking sponsors that we know are reputable sources. Like I wouldn't want, like, we'll run ads until we have the choice not to. I would then choose not to. And then if people come to us and go like, "Would you like to promote our dick pill?" I'd say no, unless this dick pill results in like a
What
great net benefit to society. You know what I'm saying?
What if it was a really helpful dick pill? What if it grew your dick but also your brain?
Yeah, and also your generosity.
Wait, don't say generosity.
Oh no, not not the generosity of your dick, but your, your willingness to help other people.
Non-sexually, to be clear.
Non-sexually, well, could be sexually, but not mainly sexual. Non-sexual,
Right.
Ads gone sexual.
Yeah, yeah, actually, I think I do agree with that.
Okay, cool.
Sponsorships in YouTube videos are much less intrusive. You
They
don't
can
have
be.
to watch them. Yeah, you don't have to watch them. Are you still there?
Yes, I'm still here. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Sorry. And I do think I agree. Like, I don't want to fill people's lives with uselessness and
Yeah.
useless crap. And so I'd much prefer actually being able to promote companies that we have been able to vet in some way.
Yeah, that we have some sort of interaction with the people on the inside of the business, and we can speak to their character and everything.
There is actually that reminds me of a good example of this. One podcast I used to listen to was a group of guys, and they were sponsored by this energy drink for gamers company.
Oh yeah.
I'll leave it at that.
Yeah.
But that was all what they did. They did that for YouTube, like played games and tried to be funny, about it. And that company was partially owned by a lot of people who did the same thing, right? Who played games on the internet.
Okay.
And because of that, it was actually a lot more of a chill company because
Sure.
it was less focused on. I mean, it was still a business for sure. They were still trying to make money, but it was made with the intention of being sponsor friendly. So it was much more. It was supposed to be aimed directly for the people that they were marketing it for, right? Being owned by people who hopefully gamers were watching.
Oh yeah.
Right? It was a lot easier to market it in a less hostile way.
Yes.
Because it was going straight to the direct audience. And I actually, for the most part, didn't mind their ads in the podcast,
Mm-hmm.
because A, it was well targeted. B, it was
Yeah.
very low key, like very chill. Like you know how you were talking about that overproduced James Bond ad
Yes.
earlier? Like it was like the opposite of that. Like they
Okay.
just started. They were like, "Oh yeah, we should also talk about this in the middle of the podcast, like just
Right.
randomly." And it was like 20 seconds. They were just talking about it. They didn't say anything untrue, like it gives you wings, you know? They just
Yeah.
said like, I really liked this is what this is the flavor that I drink, you know?
Oh, sure. Yeah.
And also they treat like the people who do sponsorship deals with them very well. Like they told crazy crazy stories about what they did with like the CEO of this company.
Oh, really?
Right?
Okay. Yeah. So they.
Which-
Yes.
which-
It was more personal.
Yeah, which shows that the company is being led by a human.
I see.
Right?
Yeah.
So I would a sponsorship deal like that is something that I think would be very good for this podcast.
Yeah. I do. I'm comfortable with sponsors because then we can see if their values align with ours, and a lot of this podcast is going to be talking about values, so that would again sort of just inform the product that we're creating, and so that would honestly, I think would improve the product if we had something, because we are just creating something that doesn't really have any direct benefit, financial benefit on anything. So if we were able to make money off of this, and then maybe promote other things that are making money, then that would have a greater impact on society, which I would be more comfortable with. Okay, cool. So we didn't even get to our first point, which is the pros and cons of ads on the podcast.
Yeah, no.
So what would be a pro of having ads? I mean, we kind of got into it. I just said a few. Do you have any others?
Yeah, the ability to do charity.
Yeah. Yeah, the ability to financially benefit causes in which we believe.
Yeah.
Okay.
Also, the ability to produce better, to improve the podcast.
Yeah, which would then improve our personal skill at making podcasts.
Hopefully, you would hope.
Oh, hold on, you just cut out.
No, you cut out.
Oh, okay, cool. Okay, what are cons on the podcast? What are the cons of ads on the podcast?
All ads are a con. No, I'm kidding.
I mean, kinda, yeah, a lot of them.
A lot of
They
them.
don't have to be.
They don't have to be. Let's make our own ads. Let's make our own ads.
Ads for the podcast on
Let's
the
make
podcast?
ads for concepts and and opinions.
Ads for opinions?
I mean, that's basically just political advertisement, but yeah.
No, yeah, actually, you're right. That's exactly what
ads
that
run the
is.
world, man.
Yeah, well, they don't run. Okay, maybe they run the world, but they don't drive the economy. A lot of people spend a lot of money on ads. That's what we agreed on. Okay, cons on the pod. It could deter viewers. It could. That's it, really, right?
It would waste people's time.
Yeah, if people continue to stick around, then it would just be draining. Would it be wasting their time if they're like consuming an ad that would, like that's kind of. What am I thinking?
Saying it wouldn't be a waste of time if their ad revenue was used for something good?
No, it wouldn't be a waste of time if someone is consuming an ad and then it is making them think about whether or not this is a waste of their time or not. Because they're only wasting their time if they continue to put their time into this ad. But if someone hears an ad and they're like, I've heard this before, I no longer want to listen to this, they'll stop listening and the waste of time is over, right?
Right, but the time is still like maybe we're not wasting their thoughts on it, but like we're still wasting like their life is still ongoing and they're not doing anything. We can't assume they're doing something meaningful because it's like a 30-second or a minute long ad. You know what I'm saying? Like
I
they
guess
just put their
so.
life on pause for a minute.
We just took a little bit of their time.
Like maybe they could be like, super time efficient. They're listening to the podcast, and then when an ad comes up, they go back to day trading, and then they come back.
Yeah.
But I don't.
I love day trading.
I don't think we can assume that.
No. Okay, yeah,
Are we,
waste of
should we
time.
assume all of our
Um,
listeners are just like day traders and lawyers and doctors? I think that'd be hilarious.
It would make it easier for us, yes. And I like the idea that they could always be exercising or learning a skill, like piano.
Or
Instead of doing those things, they're listening to this podcast.
or they're just sitting on the toilet right now. I know there's one guy. I know there's one dude. We
There-
see
yeah.
you. Hey, we see you.
Yeah,
Good job.
we're looking at you. Keep it up. Good luck. Yeah, we should create our like target demographic is a lawyer, doctor, day trader who likes to exercise and play piano, or learn a skill, and is sometimes on the toilet.
Is sometimes on the toilet. That's a very important detail.
That's right. Yes. Okay, that's our guy. Okay, any more cons, or should we move on to ethics of ads?
Cons. Waste energy.
Yeah, like our energy. Yeah,
Oh,
that's a
I was
good
also
point.
thinking just like electricity. Waste money.
Okay, it wouldn't waste any more electricity than we're already
No, because
wasting.
you spend more time on your computer.
Okay, true. Yeah.
And I
I
mean,
guess so.
for like one single podcast, sure, that's not a lot. But you add up every viewer, every episode,
Oh, I agree.
it does become something.
I agree. Yeah, we got to consider all the
Waste
little
money.
things. Waste
Ads that don't
money.
work.
Whose money would it waste?
You've just wasted a lot of
Exactly. Good point. Yeah, they could just fall on deaf ears.
money. They are insulting sometimes. Can be insulting.
Not our pod. Not our pod.
Wait, our pod? Why would our pod be? Our pod is not an ad.
Right, but the ads we would take would never be
Oh,
insulting.
never. No, viewers, we would never call you unintelligent.
Actually, you know what? We could interpret it as not insulting, but they could interpret it as insult. So you're right. We should consider that.
Actually, that's a good point. We should consider that. Or we could just make them insulting on purpose, and then there wouldn't be any like mystery. You know, that we could just make it easier. We could just
Oh yeah, actually, they wouldn't have to go like, "Are they insulting me?" We have to make it very obvious. No, we are insulting you, and we hope you know that.
we'd have to make it very obvious because they're stupid.
Yeah, because yeah.
Wait, no,
Okay.
don't cancel me.
No, don't cancel us. Please don't cancel us. Okay. Any more else?
Not
Any
off
more
the
else?
tippity top of my head.
Okay. So what is ethics of ads? Did we get into what we definitely defined ethics
Yes.
earlier in our
What
Good Evil episode?
society thinks is good is right and wrong.
Yeah, okay. So yeah, we can get into this. So what I think that an ad has the potential to be unethical, but does not necessarily have to be unethical, right?
I'd say so.
So how would it be an unethical? It would be lying, it would be misinforming, right?
Yes, it would be lying, it would be misinforming, it would be committing crimes.
How would it be
I don't
committing
know,
crimes?
You could probably do an ad where you're committing a crime. Wait,
Like the ad, putting the ad out is the crime, or you would have an ad wherein someone is committing.
wherein someone is committing a crime. Like I could imagine like a really old ad where something they did in it is now a crime, you know?
Yeah, for sure, but like that's not about advertisement. That's just about advertisers, I
That's
guess.
a good point. I can't think of a modern ad where someone has like. Well, I mean, I feel like I've seen. Maybe this is a. Have you ever watched Top Gear?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure. I'm not sure if it was the Grand Tour, which is like the sequel, or Top Gear.
Yeah.
But in one of them, they made like a mock car ad where they were like mock killing animals.
What do you mean mock killing animals? How does that? What does that
It
even
was
mean?
a joke about how like unfuel efficient the car was. So they would have
Okay.
like props of animals like hunting you know what I'm
Yes,
talking about,
hunting targets.
targets. And they would put it on the side of the road, and then they would video the car driving past. And as the car would drive past, like a polar bear would like fall over.
Okay. I get it.
right?
But they're not committing a crime in
But
that ad.
I could see like an ad where they committed a crime.
A company actually killing a polar bear in the interest of
Yeah,
advertising.
yeah.
Okay, sure. I don't want to put that. Okay, yeah, we could
Or
consider
okay,
that.
here's an idea.
Okay, but this could.
This isn't
Yeah.
like explicitly promoting crime, but like an ad of a movie where they're committing a crime in the movie. If you took that out of context, then people would think,
Okay, so you're saying they could, ads could, like if an ad is showing someone doing something dangerous or risky, it could encourage people who've seen that ad to do something dangerous or risky?
yeah, it's like how you have to put that that disclaimer, like we are trained professionals, do not try at home.
Yes. Yeah, that's definitely something that can be considered unethical. Yeah, so ad can promote unsafe behavior. They could promote ideologies that could be controversial. That's like a lot of political ads, right? But that's not unethical. That wouldn't be unethical. Just promoting ideologies?
No, I don't think that is technically. I don't think that would be considered unethical.
Mm-hmm. Unethical. I think that when we spend irresponsibly, that's very much unethical. When we spend way more on advertising than we absolutely need to.
Oh, for sure. People don't like rich people.
Yeah. People don't like rich people.
I should.
I mean,
I should.
yeah, I don't know if
put
any
a star on that. People don't like rich people unless it's themselves.
Yeah, well, I honestly think that a lot of rich people don't like themselves. That's probably why they're so rich.
You think they're rich because they don't like themselves?
Yeah, they're trying to fill a hole that they can't fill with like playing badminton.
Weird example, but okay.
Like, bro, why are you working so hard?
I don't know. I mean, I guess that checks out. I don't think that's all rich people though.
You think some rich people love themselves?
Oh, for sure.
Oh yeah, I guess
that's
so.
why they
Could
have
be.
so much money, because they think they deserve it.
Yes,
That's
right.
why
That's a good way to look at it.
that's a
too.
problem I've been having recently with like the amount of money that I have. I'm not rich by the. Let's just preface this. I'm not rich by any stretch of the imagination. But like,
No, well, like a global perspective, you're probably the top
I'm richer
1%.
than like an Argentinian, like a I don't know, like a really poor child in a foreign country. But like,
Yes.
in where I live, I am on the lower end. That's for sure. Hey,
Yeah.
heck, I currently don't have an income. So there you go.
Yes, if you could, that's how I've considered wealth too. Is like, how much money are you making? Because if that's the case, then yeah, you have zero income.
Yeah, I'm currently only falling down the ladder.
Yes.
What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, but like I still have a problem with the amount of money I have in like savings. Like it's hard for me to hold on to that in some regard, even though that I know I'm going to need it in the coming chapter of my life. I'm going to need
Yes.
it to accomplish what I want to accomplish, but it's hard for me to hold on to it because in one way it's like, why do I deserve that more than anybody else? That's something that it's
Yeah, we should definitely get into like deserving. That's a topic.
it's been hard for me to grasp that. But clearly, deep down, I think I do because I haven't gotten rid of all of it. So it's like,
Exactly.
that's tough. Is that good? I don't know.
Well, yeah, the way I interpret it, because I too have money in savings, is that in order to maximize my benefit on the world, I would need to become someone who is skilled enough to do that. As the person I am now, I cannot really do anything because I have no skills. And so to gain skills, you have to spend money. Like, I don't really know how you could learn anything without paying for it, unless you're inherently smart. Like some people I know from high school just got full rides because they were the smartest guys in the world and they just get their whole education paid for. And so I'm not that. And so in order to become someone who can do anything, I'll have to invest in my own education and become someone who can then, right? Do you think that the benefit now, I could invest the money into myself and then generate more money to put back out into the world, right? That makes sense?
Well, for intellectual skills, I'm not sure. Yeah, maybe yes, maybe no. I think we can both agree that's not true for every skill. Like woodworking, for example. You don't have to spend that much money to be good at woodworking. It's about spending the time.
Yes, for sure.
But for like,
But woodworking is not a skill that's going to benefit society.
well,
It does, but not to the maximum you can.
well, maybe the maximum some can.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, honestly, I feel like I'm going to spend money on education, not do very well, and then realize, oh no, my max potential is becoming a really good woodworker. Not to, slander woodworkers at all, but I'd like to do something more impactful. Like, I don't think I could be an engineer, but an engineer is going to have much more of an impact than someone who just reassembles
That
things,
is
right?
that
Right?
is something that I've been thinking about lately. Because on one hand, I like that I think I can do more. I can do more in society, that I can like help people. But on the other hand,
Yeah.
life would be so much easier, and I think potentially more enjoyable if I didn't think that. You know?
Oh, for sure.
Like if
Yeah.
I just went to trade school and just started making tons of money, like that would I think that would be a more enjoyable life. But unfortunately, I think I can do more, and so I feel like I have an obligation to do more. And so I must go through this
Exactly. Like,
grueling.
it would be more enjoyable, but you have that guilty feeling that would kind of negates all the joy you would
Yeah,
get
I
from
would
it.
always think, but I should be doing more. Like this isn't the extent of my ability. Yeah.
So that's good.
Yeah, this has just become depressing. This has just become a depressing conversation.
No, we're not depressed. We're good. Okay. Did we talk about the ethics of ads? Did we miss anything?
I think we did.
Irresponsible spending, manipulation,
Yeah, you missed this.
and we'll do a sequel, and that's how we're going to handle this. We're just going to put a bunch of episodes out, and then repeat those episodes for the end of time, because we'll just keep getting. It's like the podcast where you review the last podcast.
Yeah, we'll do episodes up until halfway until we're dead, which we'll know, of course. And then we'll finish the podcast. We'll be done with the podcast. But we'll probably start a second podcast, this time a video podcast, I know, crazy, and we'll call it We Wrote That Down in the past tense. And then we'll just review every episode that we did.
I like it. That works. Okay, I think we wrote types of ads, as in like what types of ads will we run on the pod. That would be sponsorship.
Yeah.
We already talked about, right? Anything else?
Would you be comfortable? I saw a video podcast the other day where they were actually like wearing the sponsorship. It's like a piece of clothing. Would you be comfortable with that? With that type of thing?
I don't think we're doing video.
That's it.
Do you ever plan to do video?
But like, I don't plan on it. I think
No.
But like, actually, it's good. But like, for example, using a sponsored mic, something like that. I guess that's one thing we could do. Or like
we could do that, and also in the video portion of our podcast, like the little background that we haven't made yet. I mean, that we have made and you're looking at right now. We could put an ad on there.
I don't think we should do that. I think that's a really bad idea.
Why? What's wrong with that?
That's no different to like just putting a YouTube ad in, isn't it?
We wouldn't put a McDonald's ad. It would be something that we believe in. I keep saying McDonald's. Fuck.
Maybe. I don't know how I feel about that. I guess it would be okay because we're not forcing anyone to look at it.
Yeah, like it's either they're looking at that or what are even your ideas for the background? Because I have nothing.
I literally I gave it to you. I was like, I'll figure out what we're doing for column A, column B. Can you figure out what we're doing like for the art? And you said, yeah, I know someone who does art. He'd love to do this.
Yeah. Yeah, I could do that. But did you have any ideas? Like, I don't have any ideas.
I thought you had ideas. I thought you were contacting a creative person.
I am. But I just didn't know if you had any input.
Not really.
Cool. I'll just see what he has to say. Could be good. And then if we can't think of anything, we'll put an ad.
No. Even if we put something, we have to put. We can't just put an ad.
Yeah, you're right.
And we need something for like a profile pic, anyways.
Yes. Yeah. The logo shouldn't be a problem. It's the background.
Well, the background can just be like the logo with extra steps. Okay.
If you're comfortable with that, yeah, that makes sense. Okay, cool. Okay, how about ads we admire? Oh, you talked about those. I don't know if I have any. So, well, I know I talked about Red Bull.
Yeah, Red Bull. Also, Monster, I guess. Do you?
Well, what does
I'm not
Monster
sure
do?
you would really. Do you know who Ken Block was? No, I didn't think
No.
so. Ken Block was a very famous rally driver. Uh, and he was really
Okay.
cool, and he always had Monster on the front of his race suit. And I don't know, that is cool.
Okay, so it's just like an unintrusive F1
Yeah,
ad,
kind of. Yeah,
F1 style
he
ad.
was cool. He did cool stuff. So by like, you know, by
Association.
association, Monster was cool. You know.
If that's how that works, man, they got you. Like you don't know what Monster believes in. What if Monster's putting all its money towards like killing kids? But they put it on a cool race car driver, and now it's like, oh, now I
To
like
be
Monster.
fair, I don't think it's cool to drink Monster. I just think like the logo looks cool, and if you wear the logo, you look
Okay, yeah,
cool.
for sure. That cannot be disputed.
Like I have had Monster products,
Okay,
but I don't drink them on the regular anymore.
right. All right. I think we can call it a
Wait,
podcast.
wait,
What do
we
you
did
think?
ads we admire. Are there any ads you despise?
I spoke about the one. Super Bowl ads are pretty infuriating because I know how much they
Ooh,
cost.
that's a good point.
That's about it though, because they put so much like, and everybody goes, "Did you see the ads of the Super Bowl?" Like, bro, they work. Like those ones work. Like everybody's talking about the. I don't know if they work in that they get people to buy the products, but they work in that every Super Bowl people are talking about the ads. Like, and that kind of bothers me. I don't like how people don't care that they're being brainwashed.
Yeah. I also think it's not like if you put an ad on YouTube, you don't know whether people are watching the whole ad or only watching the first 30 seconds. But like for Super Bowl
Yeah.
ads, you know they're watching the whole thing.
Yes, true.
I don't know. Apart
Okay.
from that,
Anything else?
I don't really have any any ads that come to mind that I don't like. But I do want to ask before we wrap up, um, what
Yeah.
do you think about ads for charities? Like, have you ever seen like a UNICEF ad? What do you think about those?
Yeah, that's a good point. I can't really trust them because I don't know, I can't see the results. I don't know how I would see the results. I've looked into what charities are reputable, and again, it's just me like reading a bunch of things. Like there's some third parties that review other charities, but I don't know if I can trust them either. So that's why I really want to just get inside a charity and see what's actually going on. And I've reached out to some local charities and I asked them what they did. And Gabe, they could not for the life of them give me a straight answer that I can understand. Now, maybe it's like beyond my understanding, and that's a me problem. But also, they couldn't dumb it down enough for me for it to make sense. That's kind
That's
of a them
crazy.
problem.
Oh, do you remember what they
So
said?
yeah, yeah.
Do you remember what they said?
What do you have on that? No, because it was so incomprehensible. It was like it was supposed to be some sort of environmental charity up in Northern Ontario, and I
Ontario,
think
Florida,
all they were
obviously.
saying was they were just Ontario, Florida. What is there an
I think
Ontario,
so.
Florida?
Well, hold on. No, there is an Ontario,
There's an
Florida, 'cause
Ontario,
that's where we live,
California.
right? And that's what we're talking. That's what you mean when you say Northern Ontario.
Do you forget that we said in episode 1
Did
we're
we?
in Canada?
Oh, that's
Yes.
crazy. Well, I guess we are in Canada.
We can cancel that if you'd like. We can block that out.
I mean, I don't think. I think Canada
That
is
informs
fine.
what we're talking about. No, Ontario is very much different from all of Canada. Like if we say Canada, we don't want them thinking we're in PEI.
I guess. But Ontario, what is the population of Ontario? Is the population of Ontario big enough that we don't have to be worried about like hackers?
It's fucking huge.
I guess so.
Hackers?
I don't know, man. I don't know.
Dude, 7% of Canada lives in Toronto.
7%?
Yeah. Isn't that a lot? Toronto, the city.
I mean, I guess so. That's not an
That's a
astonishing
lot.
amount, to be honest.
Okay, fine. I thought it was astonishing. Either way, what was I talking about? Oh yeah, they were some sort of environmental charity operating in the north of where we are. And I think all they were saying they did is they like promote environmental sustainability, which is like that's not really helpful. Like it's promoted, people know about it, they just
Isn't
don't
it
care.
promoted?
We have to do something
Don't
about
people
it.
promote environmental problems so that you can fix them? Isn't that the whole? Isn't that like the whole point?
Yeah, exactly. So I don't know. I got to go out and figure out how to find a real charity that like I'd like to do something local where I can get on the inside because I'd like to help in global issues, but I can't see what's going on, so I can't really know if it's working or not. So that's definitely something to think about. What do you think about charity ads? Oh, what about like an ad
What
for
about
sick
'em?
kids or something like that? I remember I was watching a show with my brother at his place, and then an ad came on, and I was like, ah, and we were both like, ah, we hate ads because it was right at a part where like he was in a TV show and like it was an emotional part, and like they show us an ad, it's like, ah. And then the next ad that came on was a sick kids ad. He's like, "What do you got to say about that, Sean? Huh? Oh, is this one bothering you?" Which is a really good bit.
Kids with kids
What?
are good.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, oh, I hate sick kids. Like, wait, no, don't cancel me. But yeah, like those ads, are they asking for donations? I honestly never really
yeah,
pay
I'm pretty
attention.
sure they are.
Yeah.
I mean,
I guess that ad's fine. Again, like these, I can't trust them. I don't know where
I
the
guess
money's
it's
going.
okay, but at the same time, I feel like some doctors take too much pay. So it is like,
Oh, really? Yeah.
yeah, these people do deserve as much as we can give, but at the same time, there are people that are taking from what could be given. People
Oh,
that are
for
taking
sure.
from
Yeah.
what is
Like,
given.
do they? Is it? Is their mental health dependent on their ability to take a trip to Hawaii or whatever?
Yeah, do they really need a 4-car garage?
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Anything else you'd like to mention?
I don't think so. I think that that sums it up pretty well. I think we've come to a good consensus on what we think is acceptable and not acceptable. Oh wait, we didn't talk about
Yeah.
Patreon.
Okay, we got an hour though.
Oh my goodness, are you just clocking in and clocking out? Unbelievable.
No, but like I don't want them to go too long.
Dude, there are like 4-hour podcasts and a little bit over an hour.
Those are the
It's
ones I don't
not a
listen
big
to.
deal. It's not a big deal. How long do you think
Okay.
we're gonna talk about this?
Yeah, fair enough. Okay, go. Okay. What do you want to say about Patreon? Like, what would it entail?
We must do something extra. I feel like that's the whole point of Patreon.
I
But
agree.
what would be extra?
Just more pod.
I think more pod
Another
is
episode.
a bad enticer. I've listened to podcasts where they're like, they finish off the podcast and they're like, okay, and now we're going to the Patreon. Join us on the Patreon. And it's like, why would I pay more money when you're already doing podcasts for free? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, okay. So what extra ideas do you have? Like merch? What is would that work?
Merch? Maybe. But that's not really like a Patreon thing.
No.
Because Patreon is like a monthly subscription, right?
Yeah.
So I think it would have to be more content. I think that's the idea behind Patreon too, is more content.
So like a behind the scenes thing, because we don't really have a behind the scenes process.
That's a good point. I think we should just maybe we do an extra, not an extra segment necessarily, but like a different type of audio thing. Like instead of just more podcast, maybe we do one of the extra sections that I was talking about. You know, like the special episodes.
Yeah, we could do that. But that is more podcast. Which isn't it?
It's not the same though.
Okay. It's because it's
not the
different.
same.
It's a different kind of product.
Yeah. And maybe we could do like this is a far out idea, but just work with me here. Maybe we could do like a game show almost. An audio game show.
Oh yeah. I'm so on board.
We could get creative with it.
Absolutely. We could do, what if we interact with the people? Could we do something like that?
Oh, like a live thing?
We could, live podcast.
Yeah, that would have to be a down the road kind of thing.
Oh,
But
for sure.
maybe.
But we're not gonna have a Patreon until down the road.
That's a good point.
And
What else?
we could do early podcast, like just drop them a week early or maybe a few days early.
I guess.
Where would the money
buy-
from the Patreon go? Because that's really what this discussion should be about.
Well, back into the. Well, okay. Would we start this when we're just putting money back into the pod, or would I think this is too far down the road for that? I don't think a Patreon would survive when it's just like two people.
Yeah, true.
So I think it would, if we do a Patreon, it would have to be when we are spending so much time on the podcast that we neglect other like our financial stability.
Yeah, good point. Yeah, exactly. Okay, so we would have to take a little bit of this as, living money.
Especially because I think that's the whole point of Patreon is you spend more time on adding extra stuff.
Yeah, you can make it a bit more of a career, like a side hustle, I guess, or a career.
Yeah.
Not a career. I don't think either of us want to do
You
this
wanna
as a career.
That's a great question for another podcast. Do you want to be a podcaster, a
Yeah.
full-time podcaster?
It'd be funny if I recorded myself saying, I don't think either of us want to do this. And then like in a year, we list back the podcast as full-time podcasters going, where did we go wrong?
We go, oh my goodness, I'm a disappointment to my past self.
That's right. I've changed. The pod changed me.
Yeah, when I failed school, when I'm out of school, living on the streets.
Making podcasts. We'll podcast for money.
Yeah, living on the streets and then walking into the studio. to
That's
make a
right, yeah.
podcast. Living in a cardboard box that's on 500 acres.
What? Like you own the 500 acres?
Yeah, I own the 500 acres. I own the land.
That's
I'm
right.
I'm not poor. I just live in a cardboard box.
Yeah, you're just a disappointment, so that's where you deserve to be.
Yeah, exactly.
You put yourself in the box.
I put myself in the box.
Oh. Okay, Patreon.
Okay,
Yeah.
is that it?
I mean, I feel like I've been trying. Let's try to cut out. I'm editing this one. I'm gonna try and cut out all my attempts to end the podcast before because I feel like I've been ending it for like 30 minutes. But yeah.
So then you do the official.
Okay.
I did the last
Yes. Thank you.
sign off.
You did. All right. Thank you for your time. Thank you for listening. We hope that you enjoyed the podcast. Please let us know whether or not you did. Leave as much feedback as you can. It's very helpful and it will inform the product going forward. So be sure to like and subscribe, share with your friends. Let us know what else we can do. And we hope you wrote that down. End of podcast. Pause.
End of podcast.